What is it? What is that connection? Why do you keep hiring us? Whatever your agreement is. Why are we still on board? What is it? And find those common ground. You've interviewed 20 of your customers and they tell you a bunch of different things, but there's that one thing that all 20 told you, that might become your rallying cry. Welcome to Sidewalk Talk. Our subject is slogans. What is a slogan? What is not a slogan? And why is it important for you as a small business owner to not only have a slogan, but to have buy-in, not just from yourself, but your entire team internally? This is kind of our wheelhouse, guys. I mean, this is what is the most fun for us, is helping small business owners understand their own identity and then how to best express it. So a slogan is the position, your positioning statement. It's an expression of the position you hold in the marketplace. Some people call it a tagline. It's not a tagline. The slogan is it has multiple meanings. And when I think of a slogan, for example, when people still don't understand what a slogan is, it's think about Nike, right? Nike, just do it. The beauty of that, and now, of course, they went on and their entire campaign was focused around their slogan, and their slogan had nothing to do with their sneakers, had everything to do with honoring excellent athletes and the work ethic, the genius behind each of these athletes. And yeah, it honored them. And what it did indirectly was also say we at Nike understand that these superior athletes like a Michael Jordan, that they don't just become great athletes. There's nothing but hard work that goes behind that. And then that infers that, well, Nike supports these people and they support Nike, then Nike must put a lot of effort and thought into their products. And so they are of high value. And we, of course, should go buy them because we're connected to them emotionally. Again, nothing about their sneakers, right? And so I don't know if you guys, do you have a big brand that sticks out in your mind so people can understand what we're talking about with a slogan? Because I want to go from big brand to, you know, the small business owner and some of the examples that we have of slogans that we've created and why they have been important for those small businesses and what they have done to bring them to life. Because not us, it's what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I've always liked, even since I was like younger, it's for PlayStation actually. It was Play Has No Limits.
Mhm.
So I've always kind of resonated with that because, they've had, PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've had PSP, PS Vita, now PlayStation Portal. So there's always ways that they, in my opinion, um, saying play has no limits meant, I'm always going to have access to my games. I'm always going to be able to play no matter what. And, if that's your passion and your hobby, you're going to look to make sure that you can do it any which way you can. And they got into that, mindset right from the early get go. So that's one that's always stuck out to me, because I am a PlayStation fan as well. But I've always liked that one.
Jamie, got one?
I got to go with the classic. Just do it. As a sports
Yeah,
person, somebody that's
exactly.
played sports my whole life. I mean, that those three words just really, even as a kid, just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. How
You get
powerful. Get
yeah.
her
There's a lot
done.
of emotion in that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotion. So, yeah, I was trying to come up with like, is there anything else? But it always comes back to that one. They would be the quote unquote OG for the slogans, in my opinion. So.
So what I'm going to do is kind of, when we work with businesses, we go through many steps, and one of the things we obviously do is as we research and we come up with rationale as we develop a slogan, and when we're developing a slogan, and Jamie always talks about this, and for those that aren't watching on YouTube, if you're listening on just listening to the podcast right now, I'm sharing a screen of the strong characteristics that go into a slogan that we try to when we're coming to developing a slogan, we try to look back at these characteristics and we say, does that slogan is it represented? Is it easily grasped? That's one thing. We aren't always able to accomplish all these characteristics, but we look at this as we develop it. And what I was pointing to is Jamie always talks about, you know, it's not just we pull it out of our ass and here's a slogan. You think about these things. That's where it's not just a tagline, right, James?
Yeah, it amazes me how much effort, how much time gets put into creating a slogan. There's research, there's interviews, we're talking to employees, we're talking to customers, and finding that unique value proposition that this business in particular owns, in the market. And it's not an overnight thing. Sometimes these ideas can obviously come out of the blue, but the best moments are when we as a team are just brainstorming nonstop, and then we all come to agreement on something that does become that rallying cry for the company that the employees are proud to say and wear on their shirts, and it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, man, it's the best when they get when there's buy-in. Obviously, there has to be buy-in from the final decision makers, right? But the way we get buy-in from the rest of the team when they're not always directly involved in the final decision making, we get buy-in from them by including them in the process of developing this slogan because we need their input or we need their customers' input because we find those consistencies that helps us build that story and that rallying cry that everything goes around. That rallying cry is now that umbrella and everything's under it. So the characteristics we look for, again, I mentioned it easily. We want this to be obviously easily grasped. We want it to be emotional. And we say emotional, we don't mean we need to make you cry. It's fine if we do, but, I mean, because people, right, we make decisions based on emotion and justify with logic later. Roy Williams, win the heart and the mind will follow. So we want it to be some kind of emotional connection. When we're doing employer brands, we're working on recruiting and retention. We want our slogan to be some kind of emotion. If I was selling carpet, I'd want it to be an emotional sell. I want my slogan to have some kind of emotion so that I can connect with whoever it is I'm trying to connect with at an emotional level. I think obviously another one, it should be memorable, you know, that would be great. And what helps make things memorable too is repetition, the power of sound, and then using music. People call it a jingle. I call it musical imaging. But a jingle, when it's and a lot of times when that slogan is sung in a jingle, very, very powerful, becomes memorable. Has to have flexibility because there might be multiple channels within that. So it might have to cover multiple departments. So there needs to be flexibility or multiple initiatives. It needs, like I said, have to be part of that umbrella. Should be exclusive. I mean, don't want it anywhere else. And a lot of times you see what people will call a tagline, and that's
Mhm.
what it is. It's focused on the business. What we try to do is focus it on the customer or the person that we want to attract. Could be employment. It could be, a candidate we want to attract, but or we want to increase business. We want to talk to our current customers or new customers. Um, what if we could have our slogan focused on them to get them involved as well? That would be powerful. So we're always looking at that. And the one thing that is consistent, at least when we're developing slogans and the ones that we have found the most successful, is they all have to become a rallying cry. They become, and it starts internally. Again, starts with those final decision makers, whoever it is. Maybe it's the business owner, maybe it's a business owner, and there's I lost audio. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
Um, but it needs to become that rallying cry because we always say it starts internally. All right. Internal means our employees, our entire team. Internal could also mean our current customers. I want them to understand where we're going, what our slogan is. Maybe the brand's making adjustment. I want them to know we're molding our brand in this direction. So that's internal. And then after we complete the internal understanding of our rallying cry, then we take it to the world and we go externally. So it's internal first, get the buy-in, then take it externally to people that don't know us, and now they will understand us and maybe have a connection. And then we always say it's eternal. Internal, external, eternal. What we mean by eternal is you don't, to Jamie's point, just grab, hey, this one sounds good. No, you're going to put all this effort into creating this rallying cry and this slogan, and you have to assume that this slogan is going to be forever, right? So, for those watching, I just punched up an example of one. Um, Heat Wave Heating and Cooling is it's a client of ours, and they what we discovered is in interviewing them, interviewing whoever we could talk to, any kind of stakeholders, we discovered that they really put customer service first. It's interesting. They're very good at HVAC, right? They're an HVAC company. Uh, but I always felt like after sitting with them and understanding their thinking and their philosophies for a few months, that they were a customer service company that happened to be really good at HVAC. And
Mm.
so what we decided to do, I mean, there was multiple initiatives in internally, but what we went with was, uh, you know, we stole a slogan, or a slogan, a cliche. Instead of, what do they call it? Go the extra mile. We're an HVAC company, so they go the extra degree. But so we talk about uh, internally, we're going to go the extra degree. So our staff goes the extra degree. You can talk about the buy-in. They have a go the extra degree award. I think it's a monthly award they give it to an employee who goes that extra degree. But we also want our customers to go the extra degree and go ahead and get those bids and go the extra degree and let our team come in there, because we're going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours to evaluate your home before we make those decisions. Let the other guys come in there for 15 minutes. Our customer service means we're going to go ahead and give that extra time, but you got to be willing to go the extra degree and give us that time, because a lot of people are always in a rush, right? But it's also we go the extra degree when we hire our team members. Know that it's very important that we understand how important our employees are, so we go the extra degree in everything that we do for our team members. I know, Jamie, you've been
Steve.
involved with Heatwave for a long time. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I could hear you good. I did. So it's funny because slogans can also get you to think about, your basically your own understanding of what that slogan can mean to you. It can mean different things to different people based on where you hear it or how it's presented to you. With go the extra degree, that one in particular for from the customer standpoint also makes me feel like as a customer, I don't have to feel guilty about turning up the temperature an extra degree or
Hmm.
bringing it down an extra degree, because most people think like, oh, well, I want it as low as possible so it's not expensive. But because of how they're trained, the type of equipment that they use, how educated that they are, the efficiency of the type of, you know, uh, whether it's an air conditioned unit or a heating unit, you don't have to feel guilty by going the extra degree because everything is in place for you to enjoy that comfortability factor in your home. So
Love
that's
it.
kind of what it means to me from the customer standpoint.
Let's go. I'm going to go, in prepping, we knew we were going to talk about slogans and we love doing it. So we have some. If you're watching, we're on the Heatwave website right now. We're actually in the employee spotlight. One of the ways that Heatwave goes the extra degree as well is they want people to know their team. So we create videos and they get to tell their own story. So, but if you see, they use go the extra degree in their lingo. I mean, they've completely bought into it. So right in the first line, it's our mission to go the extra degree for you, our customer. And in going the extra degree, we all have different roles to play, from technicians, blah, 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 blah. And we think it's really important for you guys to understand and know these people, because we value them so much. They go the extra degree for us as the owners and for you as the customer. And it's really, really, really powerful. You want to buy in one. Here's one. Goose Creek Rural Fire Department. This one's pretty cool. Means a lot. I know, Jamie, you and I have been so involved
Oh
in Goose
man,
Creek.
absolutely.
This one means a lot. It's a volunteer fire department down in South Carolina, and you talk about buy-in. Their slogan is "Be the Goose Creek difference," and that took a lot of research. And what we found is they're in rural. So the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department is it called not unincorporated, right? And there's a lot of mix up between the rural fire department, the volunteer fire department, and the city of Goose Creek. So visually, they have these gator eyes. If you show the gator eyes, people know it's rural because there's a high school out there. But there was a lot of pride, and you can go ahead and make a difference. Volunteering, there's a lot of different places to volunteer, and it's always important. But you volunteer here, and you can if you volunteer with the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department or do anything for them, you can be the Goose Creek difference, and you can you know. Save a neighbor. I mean, these are heroes, these people,
Yeah.
and you're making that there's pride at Goose Creek. So be the Goose Creek difference, and get involved and become a member of the Goose Creek Rural Fire Department. And we knew that it stuck. Um, it was during COVID, and so we couldn't get out there. And so the process, I don't remember terms, but whatever. Say it's a 2021, maybe we got out there finally. And we're like, holy crap, because we're in Buffalo, New York. So we get down there and like everyone we talked to knew about Be the Goose Creek difference. And the reason they were there was to be the Goose Creek difference. That was really cool, wasn't it, James?
It's extremely powerful. They're very unique in the sense of to me it seems like it's a big community. A lot of people, and I don't know the exact amount of how many people live in Goose Creek Rural, but it gives me that small town feel that everybody's very tight knit. They're looking out for each other, and that obviously like somebody that volunteers their time, they're a special type of person. They don't believe in leisure and just not waste of time. But a lot of people, when they're done with work, they'll watch TV, they'll do this, they'll do that. These heroes dedicate their time to saving lives, whether they're running into a burning building or they're doing things to ensure that the fire department runs smoothly, from accounting to IT to you name it. So it basically involves everybody from all different backgrounds, skill sets, and again, it's an emotional slogan that involves the community.
You know, as a company, I'll tell you this, they have an award ceremony each year, or they should, and they honor all their volunteers. And a couple years ago, they started giving out, there's like the Chiefs Award, there's the Firefighter of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all those things, really cool stuff. And anyone that's been promoted, they honor them too. But one of the names of one of their awards is the Be the Goose Creek Difference Award. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And we as a company, let me see, how do I position this? We don't, there's a lot of award opportunities out there, like in different businesses. And our business isn't like, it's just like any others. There's the advertising business, advertising people get together and pat each other on the back, and there's awards, and we say, look, that's a great campaign. That's really cool. And I, I've, when I was in journalism, I won an Edward R. Murrow Award, and I didn't know they existed, but it's a pretty cool award, and it was for some investigative piece that I did. And I was young, and our news director said, "I want you to submit for this and this award." I was like, "Oh, okay, okay." So it took a lot of work. I had to get everything together. It took a lot of work to get it together, and then we won the award. Okay, great. And I was like, man, it's weird. It's people in journalism honoring other people in journalism for different things. But I thought not too bad, because I appreciate that you can, when it's journalism, you can consume it and understand it and appreciate it. When it's then in advertising world, there's a lot of awards that advertisers give out to other advertisers. And I've never understood that. Like when people critique Super Bowl ads, it's like, well, you really, how do you may decide subjectively, I like that, I don't like that, I connected with that, I didn't connect with that. But you really don't know the ins and outs of that campaign. So I don't know how other advertisers can critique other advertising saying, that's great. You did a great job on that campaign. Well, you really don't know if I did a good job in that campaign. Um, maybe we were yes man, or maybe it could have been better, but we had to do it this way because the client wanted it that. I don't know. But the main thing is you saw what we're doing, but you don't know what kind of results it got. So you can, so I don't understand advertising awards. Congratulations, that's great creative. I see a lot of great creative. It's like, man, that is really good and really well written. And that is a really great video. That's high production video. But in the end, who cares? What matters is, did it attain the results that you're trying to attain? Did it create a difference? You know? And so we don't get involved in those. It's just something that's always bothered me. But we did win an award. Is the greatest honor of my professional career was at Goose Creek Rural Fire Department when we were videotaping their awards ceremony, and they gave us a Be the Goose Creek Difference Award. I'm like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
That, because they had a goal of X amount of recruits over a certain amount of years, and they crushed it. And they gave us a lot of credit for that. But, honestly, they had all the answers. We were just listeners and able to kind of regurgitate and then let them know how to express that. And then they ran with it. So they ran with it and delivered their own results. It had nothing to do with us, but it's the coolest award ever. That was awesome. I mean, that's complete.
Yeah, it was a shock for me. And it puts things into perspective of how honorable this type of job is, because we sometimes, I think, we take things for granted, where um what comes naturally to us would be extremely difficult for others, in terms of generating creative ideas, active using the skill of active listening, note taking, organization, and presenting it back to our clients in a fashion where, okay, this is what you look like from the outside.
Mm.
Because you're on the inside, you have your own perspective of how you guys operate, who you guys are, what you guys do. But from a community perspective, somebody that's not on the inside, we digest that information in a way so that it resonates with everybody. And it's a type of skill set, and when you win an award like that, especially it being unexpected, it confirms that what you're doing, for your role in society is the right thing that you're doing. It's, again, it's an honorable job, in my opinion.
Yeah, you guys talk about it being a rallying cry, but it's evolved even from that to being like a core value.
Mm. True. Right? Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true, Tim. That's true. And that's the ultimate. But it's just, yeah, we're patting ourselves on the back. I'm okay with that.
You got to
But
sometimes. It's
yeah, no. But the point is that it's really important that small businesses do this. And this, to me, a lot of what we try to do is we'll tell people so that they can do this on their own. This one's tough to do on your own. We have a tough time doing it on our own, for our own business, because we're in it. That's what Jamie was just talking about. And this, you may want some outside help and outside perspective. And my thinking is, find someone or a team that understands um, that everything can be built around this slogan, that it's not just a slogan that rhymes, that they talk to you about building your company's story and humanizing your brand. And it starts with your position, and then how you're going to express that as a slogan. And that if it's going to take investigation. It's going to take research. And when we say research, we mean interviews, talking to everybody in the building, or talking to others on the streets, talking to customers, researching competitors, maybe just not as important as this. I just want, because part of that is knowing our definable difference too. So we do want to know, but really it's about us and what is going to connect. What's really powerful, and small business can do this on their own, but again, I think an outsider gets a different perspective, is finding out from your current customers, what is it? What is that connection? Why do you keep hiring us? Whatever your agreement is. Why are we still on board? What is it? And find those common ground. You've interviewed 20 of your customers and they tell you a bunch of different things, but there's that one thing that all 20 told you, and that might become your rallying cry. That's a
Yeah.
good slogan. How you express it, is everything we talked about earlier. But it has to be expressed in a way that it will connect with the people you want to connect with. And usually the people or businesses you want to connect with are just like your current ones, the current ones that you like. Obviously, there's customers, everyone has customers or clients they want to fire. If you have a rallying cry, you have your own, if you have your philosophies and expressed in a way, then there's going to be other people that want to connect. You're not going to connect with everybody. You don't want to. You want to connect with people that want to join your tribe, have those same philosophies, understand, and connect with you emotionally, understand where you're going, why you want to go there. And that starts with the slogan. I have another good example. Okay. I'm not sharing the screen, am I?
Steve, I just wanted to mention one other
Yeah.
thing too. Through this type of exercise of, interviewing the employees, leadership, the customers, potential customers, researching the competitors, you also kind of figure out not only what you're doing right, but what you can improve on as well. And during that time, businesses can find out what they are lacking, and they can go years and years without realizing, oh, wow, this has been an issue for our current customers, but nobody, for whatever reason, decided to bring it to light. This type of exercise or process can uncover those sort of things because ultimately businesses want to grow, right? They don't want to stay the same. With technology changing and the world changing, you always got to be open to adapting. So yeah, it uncovers a lot, things that you never knew about the business. You can learn from this type of process.
Yeah, no doubt we found out. And it's not like, well, we're marketers, so why would we want to know what's wrong? It's not like we're going to broadcast that. Yeah, we suck at this. Maybe we will. Maybe that will be. Maybe we'll learn from that and say we suck at this so much that we're going to eliminate it from our offerings
Yeah.
because it's not worth it, not worth putting the effort into that particular. Let the other guys do that particular thing. They're really good at it. We're not. We're much better at this. Let's go with it. So, Jamie, that's a great point. We have discovered many things that our clients are not good at. But there's also those where they thought they were good at it. It's bad customer service or whatever, and it can all be fixed. And it's good to know those things. And clients that love you, they'll tell you everything. They'll be very honest with you. So you get better at this. One of our more recent favorites is a manufacturer. It's ModPack. We've adjusted their name to make sure people understand what they do. The ModPack folding cartons and stock packaging. And that was a pretty long process. And we had worked with them previously in building their employer brand, and that was interesting. What we had found in talking to employees there, um, was that we couldn't find. I mean, they make boxes. So you go to the cereal store, you go to the grocery store and you buy a cereal box. A lot of times it was made right here in Buffalo by ModPack. Okay. So, but they're in the many different categories. They do a lot in the confectionery business. So if you got a candy box, a good chance that it was made at ModPack. There's medical supplies, pharmaceuticals, all those things. So they all need to go in boxes, right? And they're also, when they're custom made, they're known as folding cartons. Uh, we learn, right, as we work with
Yeah.
people. So, but what we found from every single person, and there's a lot of them, we found that nobody planned on having a career there. Most people, almost everybody we talked to was like, I just needed a gig at the time. And we're talking to people that have been there for 30 years, 20 years. The one guy's been there 40 years.
Yeah.
They all just applied for a job. But they've been there 20 years. They're like, man, I like it here. I'm going to build my career here. Remember, they build boxes, so it's a play on that too. So their slogan was pretty simple, for candidates, apply for a job here. If you fit, you're going to be able to build your career here too. If you're not, then it's just a job and you'll go find another job. But if we make that connection here, give it a shot, and you're going to have an opportunity to build your career like everyone else here. Now we highlight those people as we move forward. All of we've talked to so many of their employees, and we highlight them by telling their stories on their website and through social media. But it was all based around their stories were all the same. It was pretty easy. It was like, yeah, everyone was just came here for a job and they ended up building their career. So we took it from that, and then we needed to work on their corporate brand. And so they need to, right, salespeople want to sell to customers. And, they want more prospects out there. So first, with the employer brand for HR, we had to help them with a recruitment and retention campaign. And so we came up with that slogan, and everything they do is based on their happy employees talking to other potential candidates. So it helps with retention, but also helps with recruitment. Now, this is their main brand in helping finding other B2B customers. And what we found in interviewing the entire sales team, and then any other stakeholders we could find, and then many customers. We talked to many of their customers, and there were things there that they needed to work on consistently. And so where I give ModPack so much credit is they wanted all that information. And then we found one similar thing with everyone that we talked to, and that was that the sales team meets expectations in a very difficult business to meet expectations. You're talking about printing and packaging thousands of things at a time, and supply chain relies on it. These people, you can't screw it up. And what was happening, we found from multiple customers, they're like, yeah, sometimes things will be due on Tuesday the 1st, and it's Tuesday the 1st, and the packaging isn't there. We're like, where's the packaging? Oh yeah, our machine broke. We're just delayed. It's going to be another couple of weeks. And that screws up the whole supply chain. Whereas ModPack, if there's a problem, as early as there's a problem, all machines can break, whatever, they will notify the customer. They don't hide behind anything. It's every single salesperson has that same philosophy. And they manage those expectations. So, what they are saying, their slogan is "expect the expected," and that's a weird one, right? What the hell does that mean? Isn't it expect the unexpected? Well, it shouldn't be unexpected. It should be expected. If we say we're going to have it on Tuesday the 1st, expect to have it on Tuesday the 1st. We're holding ourselves accountable, because that's a very powerful thing to say, yeah, man, it's going to happen. In other words, we deliver on our promises, which is people say that. That's all they're saying. They're just saying it in the ModPack way, with ModPack pride. Expect the expected. We're putting our heads on, we're gonna do this, and we're going to do it the right way, and it's going to be on time. You can expect us to do exactly what we say we're going to do. And it's a directive to the potential customer or the current customer that you should expect it. You should expect it because we expect it from ourselves. So expect the expected. And it's what we stole from Roy Williams. Surprise is broken. Like, that doesn't make sense. I need to know more about it. so it connects more people. We're really proud of that one, and we love it. Tim, you were just talking about it the other day. It was really cool. Oh, I have a photo of it. I don't have it available. But when we walked into their building
Yeah.
about a month ago, what'd you see?
They changed the design in their lobby, and now it says Mod Pack, expect the expected under it.
Yeah, pretty
Very
cool.
big too. It's like
Yeah,
very large
I
and
know.
right in
I
your
know.
face when you walk in.
I
So,
know. That's cool,
so they do
man.
believe in it.
They do. And remember, I know Tim, you weren't with us at the time, but remember the Scooby-Doo looks when we first were like, oh, yeah, Shaggy? They didn't really understand. Expect the expected. I mean, you're talking about like engineers and like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. That makes, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
Own it, live
Yeah.
it, you
Yep.
breathe it, and they did, and they do.
Yep.
It's really
Absolutely.
cool. But from the floor down to the C-suite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we're putting it out there. Our asses are on the line. We're saying expect the expected. So when a salesperson is out there saying, all right, lead time, whatever, 6 weeks. All right. Now it trickle. Hey guys, we got to get this in 6 weeks. But as a team, we're not going to say 6 weeks unless we know it can be 6 weeks.
Yep.
That's their philosophy. Let's
Yep.
deliver on our promises.
Yeah, it's not even it's funny how many things that represents too. It's not even just lead time. It's the quality of work that they provide. I mean, think of the stories where we've heard of a salesperson that would not like the most minuscule thing, right? That showed up that your average person would not, it could be a speck, but because it was not up to their standards, they would obviously communicate to their customers and say, this is not of our quality. We want you to expect what you were told, from the colors to the quality, the type of print. So again, expect the expected with that. Pricing, we kind of go back and forth with letting customers know and stuff like that. If they are expecting it to be a certain price, that communication comes from the salesperson. So really, it involves everybody within that business. It is not just the salespeople. It is not just the leadership team. It is literally everybody from the people that receive the I can't think of the roles of the paper, the people that are driving it in, all the way down to shipping, involved in that process. Very powerful.
And emotional, right?
Yes.
Well, that's emotional. It is emotional because we're talking business and
It's their
livelihoods are on the
reputation.
line here, so it is emotional. When I think about emotional, another we it was a Mohs surgery, Western dermatology is a client of ours at the time, and they had a new department of so Mohs surgery is it's for skin cancer. But what we found, it didn't take talking to too many stakeholders on this, but what we found is that in Western New York, I don't know if anyone else does. Oh, someone else did do it. But anyway, what we found about this particular surgery is that it's like someone has they don't have melanoma. Melanoma, this doesn't work for melanoma. I couldn't tell you the kind of skin cancer, but it's a skin cancer that you can't leave it alone, but it's cancer. You got to take
Mm.
care of it. But what they can do is literally cut it out of you. They slice it, it's a thin, thin slice. And they slice it and they slice it and they slice it and they look. And once they see that it's all gone, then you're good to go and you leave, right? And and they say you are now cured. That will never come back again. Like, what? Cancer will never come back? No, not this. We literally just cut the cancer out of you. You're good to go. It's a I don't know what you kind of call that surgery. It's not like you're going
It's like
under.
a minimally invasive, right?
Yeah,
Like they're not
yeah.
like
It's very, yeah.
slicing you, but the
They're
art
not
of it
cutting you
is,
open.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. The art of it is they remove it to the point where you're not leaving with this big gash or what. I mean, they're getting it to the micron level
yeah,
of slicing it so
yeah.
that you're not, this thing isn't just like dug out of your skin. So they
You're
keep that in mind,
well, you're catching the cancer early.
yeah.
So it
Mhm.
encourages people to get their skin checks, especially if you've had any problems or stood in the sun 25 years ago too much, you get skin cancer. And so it encourages to get the skin checks. But yeah, it's like it'd be on your arm, you might have it, and they just slice it off. So we're like, wait a minute. So you're telling me when people come in, they have skin cancer, when they go home, after this 2 hour, 1 hour, whatever procedure, they're cancer free. In that spot, yes, it will never come back. So the slogan was arrive with skin cancer. Oof, it's emotional. Leave without it. Wow, what? That doesn't make it cancer. Yeah. You will not have cancer in that spot. We cut it out of you. Arrive with cancer, leave without. I thought that was always powerful. Another emotional play that we had was a Stevens driving school. And what they focused a lot on safety, right? They're really, which makes sense. It's a driving school. A lot of driving schools they focus on, we got to get you your license. All right, you're 16 or 17 or whatever it is. And so we also had musical imaging on this one. But when we came up with you can go to any driving school, right? There's a million of them. You can go and your kid. So our focus wasn't on the kids. Kids are 16. Who's making this decision? Their parents. Okay. Their guardians are making the decision. So the whole campaign was focused on the guardians. And so with everyone thinking, wow, these guys are known for safety. What do you say when you're leaving? We're taking a cliche, right? Oh, drive safe. Even though, people go, oh, I'll see you later, love you, drive safe. Um, it's grammatically incorrect. It's drive safely, right?
Mhm.
But it's not what people say. They say drive safe. So our slogan, Stevens Driving School, drive safe. So as a parent, you can send your kids to a driving school or get your kid a license, or the driving school that will teach your child how to drive safely. Which one do
Mhm.
you want to choose? I'm gonna choose the drive safely one, right? They're gonna teach my kid to drive safely. So Stevens Driving School, drive safe. We steal the cliche. I remember talking to the owner, Harry. He's like, I go somewhere, everyone's drive safe, drive safe. So anytime someone says to their family, hey, drive safe, recall Stevens Driving School. Oh, that's the place that says to make sure, and they focus on
Right.
teaching your kids to drive safely. Really emotional, really, really powerful, really successful campaign.
Mhm.
But again, rallying cry, right? It's everything they do. They focus on driving safely. They're the educators. Why wouldn't you want to go there? They'll get a license there too, or they can go to the other place to get a license, or they can go to the one that teaches my kid to drive safely.
Yeah,
Um,
it's utilizing an emotional decision because they're not mentioning, oh, we're the most affordable or we're the quick. They'll get their license quicker. It's no, those type of things you can't put a price on driving safe, and that's what Harry's driving school. That's what Steven's driving school represents
yeah.
is that emotional factor because I mean, it's your child driving, and you want to know that they have the best training possible. So Steven's driving school, drive safe. Let's go.
Love it. Here's another one. This was fun. Um, Lake Life Cafe out in Bemis Point in New York. It's a vacation area. Um, if you look them up, for those that are watching us now, you get buy-in. You can see their slogan is right there when you Google them. It's pretty cool, and it's right there on the front of their website. We're screen sharing now on the YouTube channel, but that wasn't a real easy one. I'm trying to remember everything now, but I know that it was a beat up place. They renamed it. And from what I remember, their slogan is "It's your time." So you could use it wisely. So it's your time. You decide what you want to do. You could come here and people watch. You could come here and read a book. It's your time, your vacation. Lake Life Cafe, you decide what you're going to do. You may want to eat lunch here quickly to get back on the water. Or I think they did some, I don't know if they say takeout or you order online and yeah, you order online, but you could be in a hurry. Okay, then just come on in. Or you can sit here for the next 2 hours and people watch people on vacation or just go stare at the water. It's your time. You make those decisions. Whatever you want, it's your time, like Life Cafe. And they've bought in. It's cool. Everything they do
Mhm.
is really cool stuff. They even have merchant stuff now, merchandise, and they do such a good job. They're just really smart people and very hard workers, and they've crushed it. Lake Life Cafe, cool place. You want to check it out too. So there's their ad. Um, again, we're showing on YouTube. I enjoy this one because I enjoy our client so much, and it's called Crosspoint Dentistry. Dr. Kelly Trong. So what we discovered with her, the that category of business, there's a lot of big box stores now eating up the smaller dentists. And that's fine. That's the way, you want it, that's great. Probably I'm guessing, I don't know. I don't remember. It's been quite a while, but it's probably less expensive, or maybe the dentistry's not as great, but whatever. But then there's someone like Crosspoint Dentistry. There's only one dentist. It's Dr. Kelly Trong, and she's got her hygienists and her front office people, all great people. Um, and and people in the 50s and 60s, they really knew their dentist. They got to know their dentist. Now with the big box stores, I don't know, your dentist comes in for the 10 minutes and then is out of there or whatever, or has to perform whatever procedure. And this is different. This is we'll call it old time dentistry relationship wise with modern technology is cross point dentistry. And so she just does things, what we've discovered in talking with her and any stakeholders is she just kind of does it the way it should be. Everything she does, it's the way it should be. That's her slogan. The way it should be. The way it should be. Because it's not this way. And you may have your own vision of what it should be. So, whatever you think it should be, check it out. Maybe it is what you envision or think it would. Maybe there is a connection. But it's just that's all we're saying is it's like instead of saying, oh, old time dentistry, modern technology, we're just saying, this lady is a great lady. She's a great dentist, and she wants, if you want to have a relationship with your dentist, this is the kind of place you want to go to. For on her side, it's, as her advertising goes on, it's really important to her to have a relationship with you because she needs to know everything to make the best medical decisions for you. And what has happened over time, because she has such a great personality, and obviously she's a very good dentist, is that a lot of people go to her because people are afraid of the dentist. But she has that way about her, that motherly feel and the motherly love that people just feel more comfortable with her, which is the way it really should be. You should feel comfortable. That's the way it should be. Again, talking to the customer, in this situation, the patient. It's the way it should be. You shouldn't be crapping your pants or worried about this or not knowing anybody. You should know these people. And so that's what she has perfected. And now a lot of times people will contact her, will read the emails. They won't say anything about hearing that she's a really good dentist, even though she is. They just say, well, I understand that I have a real phobia, fear of dentists, and I understand that you can really help me calm down. I haven't been to the dentist in 20 years. I know I need to work. And now it's like anyone has that phobia, they go to Dr. Kelly. It's been really cool. It's been fun to be a part of, right, guys? You guys have both worked with her now, and
Yeah.
it's you know
Yeah, she's also really good at, you know, when she's speaking, she actually will just say the way it should be because it's something that like she truly believes in. So, you know, it's nice when not only does it make sense for the company, but it makes sense because it makes sense for the practice as a whole, for dentistry. So I think it's really powerful.
here's another. He's a dentist, but he's a TMJ specialist, and this is one that's a little bit weird because it's almost like he's got two slogans, but he really doesn't. In discovering Dr. O'Day, really he frees people from TMJ pain. What's interesting about TMJ, people say I have TMJ. It's like, oh, no, everyone has TMJ. That's actually like a jawbone or whatever. I'm not the
Joint.
doctor. So, um, you actually have TMD is when you have a problem with your TMJ. But again, the English language just says the way we talk is, oh, I've got TMJ pain. You can have TMJ pain, but you never get rid of your TMJ. You would get rid of your TMD, the condition. Okay. But that doesn't matter. So it matters, clinically, but marketing wise, people know it as I have TMJ. Okay. But what he does is he frees the people from their pain. So we played off of a cliche. And it's the doctor, instead of we'll see you now, the doctor will free you now. In other words, insinuating he will free you of your pain. This is all about you and you're in pain. We have empathy for that. We understand you have pain. It could have been a car accident, could have been grinding your teeth, could have been anything, could be anything relating to TMJ. But our job, Dr. O'Day's job, is to release you of that pain. And for people on YouTube, you can see that their logo also identifies that the icon is a circle of butterflies with one butterfly um, breaking through from the circle, which is indication of relieving you of your pain, and you are now free. So the doctor will free you now. Now it happens that O'Day rhymes with TMJ.
Mm.
So if you ever want to have,
Yeah.
there's such a thing as a tagline, that would be hello, Dr. O'Day, goodbye, TMJ. The doctor will free you now is his slogan. But what has kind of stuck is hello, Dr. O'Day, goodbye, TMJ. We did a jingle with that. So that is really kind of like, oh, that's the TMJ guy. It rhymes. So why would you not go with it? And it's really not true. It's not goodbye, TMJ. You can't get rid of your TMJ, but you can get rid of your TMJ pain.
Mm.
But why do we need to be completely clinically correct? Why don't we just be, why don't we do something to connect with people? Oh yeah, hello, Dr. O'Day, goodbye, TMJ. Kind of his advertising tagline, but his slogan is that doctor will free you now, free you from your pain. It's really
Basically his
pretty cool.
audio logo.
It is. That is his audio logo. Why don't you
Yeah.
tell us what an audio logo is, Jane?
When you hear a sound or a particular piece of music, as you mentioned before, musical imaging, you, as the listener, because you've heard it so many times through repetition, you think of that business or that particular person behind the business. That's what an audio logo is to me. I think there's different definitions depending on who you're speaking with, but yeah, I mean, it literally could be a second, a sound, and then you think basically it's just like you picture that business, that person, or it could be a jingle. But he's a unique case because it rhymes, it's emotional, as you mentioned before. TMJ is the joint, the particular piece, but it's just interesting how that all kind of plays out because depending on the medium that you're consuming his messaging from, you'd receive that type of message, whether it was musical or a video or and whatnot. So,
Well, we have an audio logo, Shovel the Sidewalk.
oh yeah,
You and I got that
sure
together quite
do.
a few years ago. What is it?
Yep,
Shoveling, right?
indicating a shovel,
Yeah. So
picking up some snow.
one more that I thought was just fun to do of our clients was this real estate um, team, really good people. They're fun, uh, really smart, and had a they're part of the market in real estate was really leaning towards the elderly. So or or down the road to be elderly. So it could be that homeowner that they had their forever home and now their kids are adults in their 30s or whatever. Maybe this is it. Maybe that's their last home and now they're going into, assisted living. Maybe it's not even assisted living, but senior living, that so but that's it. It's a realization that it's tough. It's a realization that wow, that is now all behind me, and this was our home. Our kids were raised here. Again, it's their home, and so after talking to stakeholders and understanding what means so much to the people with the O'Lear team and why they're so important to their clients is that they have empathy for these people and want to help them as they move on to their next stage of their life. They understand that this is a very emotional time. And then they have connections with lawyers and all these things that they can help them build a team. But the point was what we found is a house is just a house, but your home, man, that's everything. So what they rallied around was the slogan of sell the house, keep your home. We're going to help you keep your home, right? There are things in that house that you have that made it a home that you're not going to get rid of. We're going to keep it forever and we're going to take it with you to your next home and we're going to keep those memories. So if we can help you understand, while we understand this is difficult time for you, that's just a house. We're not going to get rid of your home. We're just going to get rid of a house and your home is going to go with you. And we're going to help you get there. Very powerful.
Yeah.
Really cool. That was a fun one to
It
do.
it's interesting how reading the words sell the house, that doesn't really have emotion. The house, it's any house, right? It's a structure, it's whatever, it's a house. Whereas your home has the emotional part to it. And what they do to capture that essence of your home, like I remember him telling a story, something along the lines of like how this particular shelf was created, and they like removed the shelf and like structured it in a way so that the pictures could be the same, that when they put it in their home, it mimics that living room area. So it's like these little details that add up where, okay, that was just a house and now I'm in my home, because it's the essence of the memories and the things that we're taking from that house inside of your home,
You know,
pictures and things like that. So
sell the house, keep your home.
exactly.
Really, really, really powerful. And I know Michael ran with it.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know, he loved it once he really thought about that. It happens a lot too, where people are like, like the expected, but then they sleep on it and we talk through it some more, and then we again explain the rationale because it's never just here it is.
Mm.
You walk through and these are their baby. This is their baby. So this is a very so we even if they love it at the beginning, we're like, yeah, nah, we still gotta reconvene and go through this because it's internal, external, and that's going to be eternal. You got to assume you're going to keep this slogan forever, even though you might not. But it's not going to be like next year we'll just change and get another one, and a year after that we're going to get another one. This is your forever. So I guess this was great. It's fun for me. I mean, this is so much fun. But
Yeah.
um, I guess what I'm hoping here is that if someone listened to this conversation and they're in the business world, they're a small business operator, owner, whatever it is, that you understand that identify, you have to identify. You got to take the time out to figure out who you really are. There's an identity crisis in America, and it's small businesses. A lot of times they don't even know what they represent. Remember, your brand isn't what you think it is, it's it's perceived to be by the community. So you can directly mold that brand in the direction you want it to go. And to me, it starts with your slogan because your slogan will help identify you and to the community because everything you do will be under that slogan umbrella as you start to develop your brand and tell your story and ultimately humanize your brand in a way that it connects with the community.
Mhm. Yeah, I think an important thing is to consider making it sound like your company. Um, when you come up with it, make sure you're saying it how you want it to be said, so it reflects your company and you. Because, like we say, the power of sound. Tone is very powerful when you are saying a slogan. Um, you know, and a really good example just with tone that popped in my head is, there's a difference between someone saying "what's up" and "what's up," because you remember the Budweiser commercials. So I feel like how you say things in your slogan is also very important as well because you want it to resonate with your customers and also represent you.
So here, I'll wrap it up. Advice for people in small business is get a slogan. Whether you do it yourself or maybe you do have a marketing director, or maybe that marketing director get a little outside help. I advise you get in this situation, while a lot of things you can do on your own, I do think you should get some inside help just to do some research, maybe interview some customers and things like that. They tend to tell outsiders the real deal. They might sugarcoat it when they talk to you because, there's a connection there, they like you or whatever, but you'll get the true story a lot of times from that outsider, which will help you develop. But you should really think about coming up with a rallying cry, and something that you can live with, and you will live it, breathe it, eat it, smell it everywhere you go, and everyone will know it. And when you get that connection, you'll know it, and your team has to have buy-in, and so get that buy-in internally from your team, your customers, and then take it externally to the world, and just assume you're going to do it forever. But I would say, a small business owner, I think it's really important that you come up with something that the team can rally behind. Make it that rallying cry.
Definitely.
We good? Anything else, guys?
I remember when I was a kid, Dell had a commercial called "Dude, You're Getting a Dell,"
Mm-hmm.
and they would just say, "Dude, you're getting a Dell," and that clicked with me. I remember I eventually did have a Dell computer in my room because
See,
I
to
thought it
me,
was
that's a
so cool.
tagline and not their slogan, right? That was a tagline for that campaign.
Mm,
Don't you think that was a tagline for that campaign? Because, and it was probably targeted. I mean, you were probably in that demo. I don't remember that, but wouldn't
yeah,
that be a tagline
yeah,
more than a
yeah,
slogan? Is that Dell's, is that, dude, you're
yeah. I
getting a
don't think
Dell?
they
Is that going to be
sing that.
targeted towards a B2B when they want to sell them, I don't know, 20,000 computers? I don't know what they're doing, right? It would be more targeted towards who you were at that time. And
Hmm.
that's what I think of as a tagline, which was obviously effective and very well done.
Still sticks.
Yeah, it's awesome. But I don't see that as that umbrella and overall. I don't even know what their slogan is.
What?
That's what makes Nike's even more amazing. How many years is that now? I mean,
Hmm.
to just do it. Just
A lot.
freaking ridiculous. So good.
I just remembered remember Got Milk?
Of course.
Like that font is now recognizable because of
Yeah.
that slogan.
Yeah. That was a good one. I can't remember what their one before because it didn't work. Um, Got Milk, asking that question. It's making me feel, oh my God, I should have it, shouldn't I? I'm without it
Yeah.
The
now.
best athletes in the world with milk mustaches.
Yeah. But there was, I'm drawing a blank on what it was before. My note was ineffective. And they got milk. You're right. Visually also, right?
Yeah, it was.
Well, consistency, right? Consistency,
Yeah,
the hallmark of greatness. So you got to be consistent. So that's why we say internal, external, eternal. Assume it's forever and have it in everything. Try to have it in everything that you do. And maybe the copy isn't even in there, whatever, but it is that umbrella of who you are, and Jamie explain it well with expect the expected. It's not just, it's everything that they do. So we talk about, does it have legs? Can you go in different departments and different initiatives? And it can.
yeah,
Really powerful. They're just very powerful when there is buy-in internally. When there's buy-in internally, that thing takes off. Well, when we talk about Goose Creek, I mean, was there really any advertising dollars? It took off. It's like everyone knows about it, but because all the members of the fire department were telling people about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow,
yeah.
awesome.
Hey, I just wanted to just add this for advice for business owners or leadership at companies thinking about something like this. I would recommend going into this with the mindset that this could be a very labor intensive process, with the amount of time that could be spent if you want to do this right. You want to be able to have time aside for the research, for the interviews, because you're going to find out things that you didn't realize for the 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years you've been in business, your company's been around for. It's extremely powerful. And that alone, with having that outside perspective, in my opinion, can save you a lot of revenue in the end as well, save you a lot of headaches and mistakes, because you're hearing it first from the customers. And to Steve's point, to have that salesperson or somebody in leadership speak with, that customer that you've been in business with for a very long time, that relationship has been built. They may not be as open to sharing the cold hard truth as they would with somebody that they don't have a relationship with. And it's being presented in a matter of, this is meant to help the company and learn more about what is good and what can be better. So just keep that in mind. Set aside that time. This is not something that happens overnight, but we as a team and our customers believe this as well. It is well worth the time spent on what information you will find out once the process is complete.